In the 20th century, the world was a chessboard with two players, Washington and Moscow. But in 2024, the game has changed. The board is larger, the pieces are more complex, and the stakes are nothing less than global hegemony. A new Cold War is simmering between the United States and China, a battle for tech, trade, and the very future of the Pacific. But here's the twist. The winner of this superpower struggle might not be decided in the Oval Office or the Great Hall of the People. It might be decided in New Delhi. For decades, India was seen as a swing state, a massive but slow-moving giant that stayed on the sidelines while others dictated the rules of the international order. Today, that giant has woken up, and it's acting as the ultimate kingmaker in a triangle of power that will define the next century. From the Silicon Valley of Bangalore to the strategic depths of the Indian Ocean, India has suddenly become the one player that neither side can afford to lose. But why now? And what is India's ultimate price for its loyalty as it navigates this high-stakes rivalry? To truly understand India's rise, you first have to look at the map, specifically the maritime choke points that hold the global economy together. Every year, trillions of dollars in trade and a staggering 80% of China's oil imports pass through the narrow needle eye of the Malacca Strait. This is what Beijing calls the Malacca Dilemma, representing their greatest strategic vulnerability and their most significant fear of containment. If a conflict ever breaks out over Taiwan or the South China Sea, the Indian Navy sits directly on China's windpipe, capable of cutting off their energy supply in a heartbeat. Washington is acutely aware of this geographical leverage, viewing India as the only nation with the scale and demographic weight to act as a permanent counterweight to Chinese expansion. Yet India isn't interested in being anyone's junior partner or another satellite state for Western interests. Prime Minister Modi's doctrine is defined by a single, unwavering phrase: strategic autonomy, a philosophy rooted in the memory of colonial history. India has no intention of trading one master for another, preferring instead to be a sovereign pole in a multipolar world. This means they will take American jet engines one day and Russian S-400 missile systems the next, creating a delicate balancing act that often confuses the traditional alliances of the past. It's not just about warships and missiles, however. It's about the very hardware sitting in your pocket right now. As the West tries to de-risk and friendshore its manufacturing away from Chinese soil, India is the only country on Earth with the labor force large enough to pick up the slack. We're witnessing the China Plus One strategy unfold in real time as the world's largest companies move their supply chains. Apple, Google, and Tesla aren't just visiting India. They are building massive, multi-billion-dollar ecosystems that represent a tectonic shift in the global economy. This economic pivot gives India massive leverage, essentially forcing the United States to bet on Indian growth if it wants to maintain its technological edge. However, this isn't a simple story of profit and partnership, as India's security concerns remain deeply grounded in its own soil. For India, the threat from China isn't a theoretical debate for think tanks. It's a physical reality at 15,000 feet in the air. Along their 3,000-kilometer border in the Himalayas, the two giants remain locked in a permanent standoff that occasionally erupts into deadly hand-to-hand combat. This constant friction is why India maintains its deep historical ties with Russia, needing their spare parts and military hardware to keep the dragon at bay. This tightrope walk, balancing Russian hardware with American software, is what makes India's position so unique and so incredibly difficult to navigate. They are the only major power that can talk to everyone, even as the rest of the world stops speaking to one another. As we look to the horizon, the era of the non-aligned movement has been replaced by multi-alignment, a strategy of extracting maximum value from every relationship. India is securing technology transfers from Washington that were once reserved only for the closest NATO allies, all while maintaining its own sovereign path. In return, India provides the democratic alternative to Chinese hegemony in Asia, acting as the floor on which the new global order is being built. The West needs India's market and military scale. The global South needs India's voice as a bridge. The US-China rivalry has handed India a historic opportunity to finally surpass the shadows of the 20th century and claim its place as a lead actor. By positioning itself as the bridge between East and West, New Delhi has ensured that any road to global dominance must pass through its territory. The era of a bipolar world is dead, and the question is no longer whether India will eventually choose a side. The question is how much the superpowers are willing to pay for India's friendship in a world where the kingmaker has finally arrived.